Okay. So hi, my name is Samrit Tiwari, and this is the Feeding the Needy While Supporting Local Restaurants fundraiser. The program started and led by me. So first, how did we start? So at the beginning of quarantine, we weren't allowed to really eat out or anything, right? We were just stuck at home, and me being sort of a foodie, I really like to eat out and go to restaurants and try new food, or frankly, eat something other than Indian food. Um, but when I asked my mom, her immediate response was, "No, it's not safe to eat out right now." So I was I wasn't really happy with this answer. I really wanted to go eat out. So I started thinking about the problem. She was worried about it not being safe. So I started to think, how was there a way that I could sort of, because this was a common concern with a lot of people. So I started to think, is there a way that I could sort of relieve that anxiety? So so I started a plan to start a website, which so the original plan was to help people help promote eating out by looking at restaurant inspection data. Basically, in restaurant inspection data, there are a specific set of violations that the inspectors look for, right? But not all of those violations are increase the chance of COVID transmission. So I looked at the set of violations, right? And then I looked at the CDC guidelines. The CDC saying which ones really increase the chance of COVID transmission. So then, based on that, I started to compile a sort of list of which restaurants didn't have these violations and were quote unquote the safest to eat at. So so through that, I started to make a website where by cuisine I listed the safest restaurants to go eat at to help sort of alleviate the anxiety about not eating out. So as I rolled out the website, it gained some traction. I think overall it had about 2,400 users and 12,500 page views. But after this whole little project was over, I still wanted to help more and see what else I could do. So originally we came up with the idea to raise money to provide direct grants to local restaurants. I think in total we gave about $2,000 worth of grants. Right here you can see this is us presenting. I think that's a $500 check to the local Mission Coffee House. So, but as we talked to the restaurant owners and we sort of evolved our project, they said that the best way to support them in the future would be to give direct orders to them, right? So then we just had to figure out what we would do with the food. So because if you give direct orders to them, you get the food in return, right? So first, we maybe thought we could give the food to hospital workers, as that was popular during the time. But I think eventually we decided that the local homeless population would need it more than the hospital workers. So now this project serves a dual purpose of benefiting local restaurants while benefiting the local homeless population. So currently, we will facilitate it and will provide around 2,200 meals and generate around $8,500 in revenue for local restaurants to date. That's what we have so far. So some challenges when we started this project, or when I started this project. So one was my age. I'm only a sophomore in high school, so people weren't very willing to give their money to a sophomore in high school because they were sort of unsure, understandably. And the second was trustworthiness, which sort of ties into the same thing. But I wasn't really part of a nonprofit, or this wasn't really a program of a nonprofit of that time. So, how these conflicts got resolved was as my program started to grow and gather some money, then it built a sense of credibility. And the second issue was solved by me partnering with Rotary. So then I was then attached to this credible organization. So thank you guys for that. So the need right now. So as we can see in this chart right here, we can see the first data point around November 17th. Restaurant revenue would be down approximately 52% based on the same time last year. So their revenue was basically cut in half compared to last year, right? So that's pretty bad right now. But as the upcoming winter came and COVID cases just grew, that it continued to decline along with it being cold outside. So people were less likely to go to outdoor dining. So this trend really just went from bad to worse. And right now, around December 7th here, restaurant revenue has been down about 70%. And with restaurant margins already so slim, about 5 to 10%, this is really not a good sign for the long-term survival of the restaurants. So along with the restaurants struggling, the local shelters are also still struggling to adapt with the guidelines. I think one of the main problems they have were that they couldn't find a proper way to serve the people who live at their shelters. Usually they serve with huge buffets, so people could take what they need, but due to the COVID-19, that is extremely dangerous. So they were having trouble individually packing their meals. And we really help with that because the restaurants can individually pack the meals for them and make it easy for the people who need the food to just grab it and go. So our current two main partners are Community Seva. We use Community Seva to distribute the food we buy from local restaurants in the San Jose and Oakland area. We've worked with them for quite some time now. And then our second most recent partner is the Fremont Family Resource Center. We are working with them and the city of Fremont to support their Fremont Winter Shelter Program, which basically provides a meal and a place to stay along with a mobile shower unit to the homeless population in Fremont for the winter. So yeah, that is our most recent partnership. So press, our project has been covered by various local newspapers. We've been covered by India Currents, Tri-City Voice, the India Post, and news apps such as Patch and Newsbreak. These are some links to some articles. I can just show you them. If you guys want to read further, I can drop them in the chat. So just a little article about our project and everything. I think my hair was a little shorter then, but okay. So next is how we fundraised. Right now, we've mainly fundraised through these 5 avenues, one being friends and family, 2 being the local community with smaller donations of $25, $50. The other, as Paul talked about, would be foundations. We just received a grant from Santa Clara County Realtor Foundation for $5,000. And we've also received money from corporations. We've received money from the Safeway Foundation, Trader Joe's, the Spartan Finals Foundation, and Grocery Outlet. And we've also received money from Rotary members like you guys. So how can you help? This is our Fremont Bridge Rotary Club, Fremont Bridge Rotary Club's project of the month, and we have a goal of raising $5,000 this month through it being the project of the month. I'll post the PayPal link in the chat if you guys want to donate, and because this is a Fremont Bridge Rotary project, 5% of your donation will go to the club. And please feel free to share it with your friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Samar. Appreciate that.
If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah, let's open it up to. Did you want Millie? I think Millie, you were involved a little bit as well, right? And Mamta. were your kids involved a little bit with the project, or?
Yeah, my son will be involved in the project, and unfortunately, he couldn't join today because he has an active debate competition going on. Yeah, so we tried, but it's just but he's interested, and after a week or so, I'll get connected with him and Samarth connected, and see how they can take the project forward.
No, my kids have not been involved, but I know of the project from the day of inception. So I can tell you, Samarth, this is fantastic, right? Just taking it to where you've come and what you've done. Of course, you've got support of your mom and of your all your loved ones, but it's your dedication, Samarth. We are so proud of what you've done. My one question to you, and just something, of course, your mom will tell you the same thing. I'm thinking you've done so much good work with the website. You and of course then Mamta's son, if you guys are putting together some mind to it, you can leverage your website for more fundraising if possible. I don't know what you're thinking about it, what you want to do with it, but if you've got the traction of the numbers you've shared, I think that's a fantastic way of also raising awareness and taking it to the second level. So I'm just very, very proud of everything you've done with this project, and the kind of food, that you've been distributing and helping. It's commendable.
Thank you. Go look into that.
Millie, I don't know if, is there a way for him to apply to anything with Google where they may support something like this? Is there a?
Great question. I can think about what we can do. I honestly, Gitika knows so much more about Google fundraising than I do, considering that she's been so involved. I can talk to Gitika to see what we really can do with it.
Okay.
I can look into it and see what we do, but I'll talk to Gitika about it.
I wonder if I know that most everything's usually applied online and stuff like that, but sometimes there was a person where he could call and tell his story to. That could be influential, possibly, if he could tell his story to someone, and then they could say, hey, you got to fill this out or do that. That would be cool. So
we can think about it. We can totally think about it. What help, who and what. I'll talk to Gitika about it for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. Paul, it is a little more complicated than it seems. The grants from Google are very focused on particular themes or particular pillars that they're supporting. But there's a lot of, like you mentioned, lunch and learn possibilities where, the Rotary Club can present or Samarth can present on behalf of Rotary, either ways. And that would like personal smaller groups and the smaller individual donations which can be matched by the company. Those are certain things we can continue to do, and with the second wave of COVID and the way it is going right now, I think this will go on till March, so we can definitely explore this month and see what we can do going forward.
I have a suggestion. Sabia just joined. Her husband is very active in Boy Scouts. So maybe Samarth can reach out to her children who are in Boy Scouts to figure out if that organization can also partner to raise this awareness this month. The second question I had for Samarth is, till date, today is almost the 10th, 11th of December. His goal was 5,000. How much have you raised thus far, do you know?
No, I think we would have to look at the PayPal report that Paul was talking about, because we don't get the copy back.
Okay.
So another thing is Ruchi just dropped off, but I spoke to her this morning, and Mamta's son and Ruchi's daughter, they're all high schoolers, and it's about spreading the word. It is like what Lene was saying, that each one of us sending it out, to 10, 12, 15 people, and then kind of spreading the word, because, as much as we can spread it out in Fremont, it is a local Fremont shelter support that we are doing. And it will continue. It is not anything like immediate. It is going to be continuing till March, April. So I think it's just kind of spreading the word around. And I completely agree with Lene about $10, $25, $50, whatever this holiday season people want to donate to, kind of take care of your people and your restaurants, more than homeless, I would say the restaurants, and keep them open during this difficult time should be the pitch. So we are working with, Geeta had introduced us to Chiral, the owner of Nothing But Cake. Mamta has introduced us to, another friend of ours, Shalini, who's at Unamas, and she's ready to give burritos buy one and the other one she'll give for free. So for the price of one burrito, she's giving 2 burritos for this project.
That's amazing.
Right. So we are working with a lot of, but like other, smaller shops or, business owners here in Fremont, so we can do a lot together as long as we bring in the resources. And Samarth would be very happy to reach out along with other kids who are joining this project. During this holiday season, they're getting off from school next week. They can all kind of gather their energy and, jump into it for next 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And it'll be miraculous.
One thing I wanted to make a suggestion about is I have 2 gals in my rescue group that every year for their birthdays, they don't want birthday gifts. They ask their friends to make a donation. So I think this would be a really good opportunity. And it just occurred to me, my vet down in San Jose, she, I believe, made $100 contribution on Giving Tuesday, Samarth. Her name is Lori Schwartz. And she did it because I told her she better not give me anything for Christmas. I don't want any more crap in my house. I said, do not give me a Christmas gift. I said, if you want to give me a Christmas gift, here's the link, make a donation. And I thought maybe she'd donate $25 or $30. I think she donated $100. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's a really good way. And I made $100 donation yesterday. I tried to do it on Giving Tuesday, but it blocked me out. I don't know if it was just at capacity, PayPal was, and I couldn't. So I think I did it yesterday or the day before. And I sent that acknowledgement to a friend of mine that I usually buy a nice Christmas gift for. And we told each other no gifts. So I made a donation in honor of Kelly. So it's a really great way also is to, if somebody normally buys you a gift, you tell them you want them to make a donation, or it's such a simple way, especially to take advantage of that right now during the holidays, or New Year's resolution that you're going to get so many people to contribute. This is going to be a problem for several months moving forward. And it's not a for now problem. It's a ongoing problem. And if we start losing these restaurants, it's just more people out of work and businesses shut down that have, worked so hard to stay open. So bug your friends, people, bug them.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea and a very simple way to raise a lot of money.
Right.
I'm really proud
Giving up your Christmas gift then, Samarth, huh?
Power of network.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, so you're going to give up your Christmas gift?
I was going to say that mom will be the first one giving Christmas gift to Samarth through this link.
There you go.
So, Geetika, I know Mamta is online as well. And Mamta, I was thinking about Sunny Ghai, as he's the only one pretty much I know from who has food business like Burger Kings and Taco Bells and whatever. Might be a good idea because Mamta, you can approach Sunny and Tina and maybe getting Samarth and your son to them and see if they can help in any way. I'm sure they'll be happy to. Just an idea.
Hi, Geetika. I'm sorry I joined you all pretty late, but Yusuf is very well versed in these kind of raising the funds. He's into that with Washington Hospital and a lot of other groups. So maybe you could just send an email out because I know I came in pretty late and I can see what we can do as a family to help as well.
Sure, definitely. We'll get in.
That's Sabia.
Yeah, I'm sorry I joined late. I was out. It is Irshad's birthday today, so we came in home late. So sorry about that. But yeah, Scouts, as I heard Geeta talk about, either the Scouts or through Yusuf's high school friends and other groups, we should be able to help Samarth as well.
Sure.
Thank you.
And
Fantastic.
Sophia, while you brought that up, I used to serve with the Boy Scouts as well. I mentioned to Samart in chat, I
Yes.
sent him your husband's cell phone number. Hope I don't get in trouble. But the Boy Scouts used to always do the canned food drive every year, and they used
That's right.
to publish, oh, we raised, I don't know, 200,000 pounds worth of food that we will distribute to people in need. Well, they can't do that now. So I think if Smart connects with your husband and bring this up to the Boy Scouts, they've had a rough couple of years publicly. It's been a tough
Mhm.
go. They get a lot of bad press, and they really need some good press.
Right.
And if they were to do something like a project like this, where they could replace it, and people could see that the Boy Scouts are out there, doing something to help support the homeless and the needy, this could be a big win for them. So if
Yes.
Smart's able to present this to the Boy Scouts, I think
Mhm.
he could have some traction right away, because they've lost one fundraiser. Here's another fundraiser, and it can give them good press. So
Okay, sure. No, that may be a good thing, because I know they're still meeting over Zoom, although Irshad is all the 3 kids have graduated out of Scouts, but we should be able to arrange something, hopefully in the next 2 weeks before the Christmas break. And I'll talk to Irshad about it and reach out to you, Paul. So,
or even Smart directly. Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Geetika.
Geetika, yeah, please send out that email with the information and maybe yours and Samarth's contact, so Irshad can send out the email to both of you, copy you
He
on
has a
that.
presentation now. He's done his first presentation, so it's ready to go. He can do it.
Oh, wonderful. Okay,
anywhere.
We'll send
Sure.
you all the details. Yes. In fact, Samarth will send it, not me. He has
Okay.
been in this project. I'm a full-time working mom with no help at home. So I would definitely take a back seat.
Sure, sure. Yes.
Yeah. So, Mamta, are you here? Millie was suggesting something really great. Can you hear us? Are you on mute?
Yeah, Mamta is on mute.
Mamta vanished.
Yeah, might be a good idea, Gitika, for you to connect with Mamta. And in case I need to be involved and make an introduction, I'm happy to do so.
Sure.
They do a lot of work in this space, and just to get Samarth to know somebody in the food business would be a good idea anyways, just to
Right.
see how this works. Mamta, of course, knows these people that I'm talking about very well, just like I do.
That's fantastic, because Samarth had reached out to Chick-fil-A. Samarth, do you want to talk about the whole Chick-fil-A thing?
Yeah, I think Chick-fil-A eventually decided to we reached out to Chick-fil-A for some food donations, so like meals. And I think they decided that they could donate 100 meals every month to the to the Fremont Family Resource Center.
Right. So similarly, these people, Millie, that you're talking about, if they can directly give food or breakfast or whatever they can to this, the entire campaign, that'll be really good.
And what's that Rotarian's name that's over in Newark? Is it Susie? She's in government too. She owns a tortilla factory. I mean, she literally supplies Mexican food stuff.
She's a city council member in New York. Oh, yeah.
Susie Callazo, is that her name?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have her email.
Yeah, so Geeta, share that with us, because most of these, like Samarth is currently applying to Tyson Foods. Their factory somewhere in San Mateo. Tyson Foods is big. They sell in all the Albertsons and Safeway, and they have a very nice CSR program where they are donating, food or money, just like Safeway, for anything to do with this homeless and feeding the needy population. So most of these people will have a CSR program where they can either spare some funds or directly donate cooked food, individually packaged or however the city needs it.
One thing to keep in mind when you're approaching some of these restaurants is it's like the burritos, the buy one get one free. We want to keep in mind that asking them for a donation is one thing, but combining it with a business opportunity, I think, is the most beneficial way to go about it. So we're helping them and they're helping us. So when you offer, for every chicken sandwich we buy, could we get one free, or whatever the case may be. That's a brilliant way to go about it, as you did with Una Mas, because then they're getting something in return and they're breaking even. So if they're selling one and giving one for free, they're not losing any money that way. And that way we're not hurting a business. So it's a really good way to go about asking for those donations from those places like that.
Right, right. And this Unamas girl also, I had mentioned, I didn't negotiate with her. I told her whatever works best for you to keep your doors open. We are here to help you, not to extract deals from you. And she offered it herself. She said, we'll be able to do it two in the price of one. And we are really hurting right now. And this is going to be really helpful and motivating for even for our employees.
Yeah.
Can you imagine making 100 burritos, selling 100 burritos at one time? It's no sweat at all to donate 100 while they're doing it, but that's a huge amount of business for a restaurant. I mean, that's just very brilliant, her idea. And it's a great way to approach with Burger King and Taco Bell, with the owner that owns those franchises, is he's a contribution. So he's not